Hi, Susie here, and I am at the very secret, well, not really, location of Ridetech in Jasper, Indiana. It's snowing outside, so I decided to come in and see what was going on because we're going to talk to Josh over here. We're going to answer the most commonly heard questions about this thing of beauty that is being prepared to go to powder coating. And I don't know, look at here. And I'm told that the units I sold are already in powder coating, which is just freaking exciting as heck. But I wanted to talk to you all about why. Why would you want to go to a modified subframe for your first Gen F body, and answer some of the most commonly heard questions. Turn it around to Josh. All right, Josh. So I'm not going to put us both on the camera because I'm not that good with a camera. Let's sit here and talk here. We were just talking, obviously, about some of the common questions, and I wanted you to kind of go through. So let's start with maybe why did you build a subframe that I can't bolt all my existing Ridetech components onto, and why you wouldn't want to do that?
Right. I mean, originally that was the goal. We really wanted to do that just because, help all the guys that already had our stuff. Going through all the modeling, what the guys ran into was getting the geometry we wanted out of this setup. This wasn't possible with the control arms for the stock subframe. We wanted to get more caster, we wanted to get more modern alignment specs out of these cars. Even on a very aggressively aligned factory chassis, we were seeing 7 degrees roughly on one that actually was allowing you to get that.
Yeah.
On this one, it's super easy. My car's set up at 8.5 degrees, and I can still.
You still got more?
Yeah. If
wow.
I want to, yeah. And that's all the cars that we've got here too. They're awesome to drive on the street. They're just very easily to make an aggressive race car if you want one.
Right. So let's talk about that a little bit, because, the existing equipment is all designed to go onto a stock factory subframe.
Right.
So recreating a stock factory subframe for all the existing equipment, there's no gain there. I mean, you could notch it, or you could maybe do a few things here and there. Yeah. But what you're doing here is much more assertive, maybe is a way to say it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say aggressive, but it's assertive. It's going to put you out there. This isn't a solution for everybody. Am I right?
Right. I mean, my car drives great on the street, but it's probably more geared towards guys that want to be more aggressive. Get really in depth in the car build. Honestly, the cars with our stock subframes and normal kits, they drive awesome. That's what we've had forever.
Right, and we've all driven on them forever and been extremely happy.
Right.
But now we're getting into a realm as far as on the performance side of it, even on the low level don't get paid when we win racers.
Yeah.
And I don't know that because I don't win, so there's that. But even on that low end of it, the hobby racer, you don't necessarily need this much if you've already invested in your Ridetech, because you're getting those alignment specs, you're getting good caster and camber and all the relative things that you need.
Sure. If you get people that want to upgrade from, like, say, our current setup, for example, if you're looking to go racing and do more with it, it works awesome. But obviously the big thing is being able to fit a wider wheel and tire. This thing is set up for that very easily. We fit the true turn for years with a 10-inch wide wheel. Get into some of the cars where you have to modify the inner wheelhouse, the fender lips and such. Whereas on this one you have absolutely zero modifications. With the 10-inch wide wheel, it falls on, and also you can run wider, more aggressive wheels. So 11-inch wide wheels aren't going to be a problem. The guys that really want a crazy track car, we can accommodate now because of extra room.
Right. So, and all without modifying your subframe, without doing C notches and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about how you get there from a geometry standpoint, because it does differ from. Would I say all other subframes, or are there some subframes that are getting you close to this?
Speed Tech, all those guys do great stuff. There's no question.
Right.
Detroit Speed, all of them. But I'm sure we've all got the similar method of getting there. It's but it's just doing it for one is the thing.
Right.
You know, we've used our setup, moved the upper and lower control arm mounts. I mean, it's completely different, obviously, than everything else we've done.
Well, and the control arms themselves are quite different.
They're a lot different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. We all build our own stuff differently. But I mean, in this setup, we're going to have adjustment down here on an eccentric for the lower arms for, you know, more adjustment. Whereas on previous stuff in the past, we never had that.
Right.
Uppers, you know, this is all our billet upper control arm mount. Again, completely shaped differently than anything we've ever done.
Yeah, and purposely. Like it's
For
not just
alignment.
because it looks cool,
Right.
but because you can expect. Remind me again what you can expect from alignment.
My car, I'm 8.5 degrees easy.
Josh's car is a first gen
Yeah, I've got a 6.9
Firebird.
Firebird. And all the cars next door, I mean, good streetable cars, 7 degrees is easy, which back on a stock subframe, getting that is hard.
Yeah, I know Rodney worked really hard to get it.
Yeah, it's not easy. So.
Especially he's running 11-inch wide wheel,
Yeah,
but he's got fender flares.
Well, it's just everything now. It's a lot more consistent. You know, the factory subframes all over the place. So getting some cars you might be able to get a max of 3 degrees out of. Some may get 9. It's like
Right.
It depends on what day of the week that
Sure.
frame is built.
Sure.
And
That
how
makes
they've lived
sense.
over the years. You know, it's all old 50-year-old metal. It's
Yeah.
tolerances are awful. So.
You're lucky if you have two of the same control
Right,
arms in there, or
exactly.
steering arms. I mean.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So while we're down here, we're going to move in a minute and go look at some pretty cars. But while we're down here, I guess I just kind of want to point out the. I mean, look at this steel. First of all, look at this. It's truly a work of art. It's it's gorgeous. That's okay. These are getting shipped out to powder coating. That's why it looks so messy. Ridetech is a very nice, tidy operation. Normally, I'm just in the wrong place. Anyway, the gusseting, all of this it is truly incredible. And that adjustment, obviously, you're not getting that in a stock subframe because it doesn't exist. But neither does most of this.
You know,
Yeah.
The whole thing is very well gusseted.
Yeah.
Clearances around all this. You know, headers clear by a mile. You know, I had on my old subframe a set of long tubes that I had to dent to fit around the steering box. And sadly, I mean, on this one I've got a ton of room, so all you see is a dent. Not my favorite thing, but it happens. But yeah, clearances on small block Chevys, LS motors, LTs, and there's
And let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So your motor's set up.
Yeah.
This is coming with motor mounts.
So we originally were going to, then we came out with different ones.
Okay.
Right now it's a separate deal. We just built these part numbers. It is LS, LT. We've got small block, big block. There'll be more.
Okay.
Whenever
Okay.
we get requests on it.
Okay. So when we order, we just tell them what motor's going
let
in,
us
and
know.
okay. All right.
We can work on that too.
And we
that's
talk-
a new finding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all new, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even know half of this, excepting that I was lucky enough to sell a couple of them, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
They're cool.
So, and I, I've had to answer these questions. So this will accommodate rack and pinion steering, which takes you to front steer instead of rear steer, which is also very desirable. And then at Suspension Geek, sorry, it's a little noisy.
This guy's actually one of the welders. You weld all
Hi,
that?
welder. So at Suspension Geek, we've got it all set up on the website, and of course, you can always give us a call for the proper steering box, the motor mounts, the steering rack. I'm sorry, that's right, not a box; it's a rack.
It comes with a transmission cross member.
Yes, transmission cross member comes with it, which is another really awesome thing, especially when you're doing swaps.
Sway bar, control arms, spindles. It's all part of it.
The hub spindle, which is another big deal, and another racy race kind of thing,
Yep.
right? For lack of
5, C6,
proper.
C7 barrels.
Yeah. So you're really, you're just getting so much. But again, I want to really emphasize for those of you who are spirited drivers, do 2 or 3 autocrosses a year, this would be overkill. Unless you really want to go that direction,
Or you have a subframe that's just not good.
Right? Yeah.
If you've got a really rusty car or something like that,
yeah.
I'd throw something better on while you can, but it's also depending on how much you want to throw out there too.
Right. And so don't feel like you're being left out because last year you went and bought a full Ridetech kit. It's not that way. It's still awesome equipment.
We didn't know they were coming either.
Yeah, right. We'd been taking pre-orders back in May.
They're cool.
Okay.
I'm glad we're doing it though.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited, and especially for the Ridetech loyal customers who don't necessarily want to go to another brand for a higher performance. But anyway, all right, I'm going to pause now, and we're going to go look at some cars.
Hold on. Those are all subframe pieces there
Okay.
behind.
Behind?
You saw those up there.
Oh yeah, up on that rack. Yeah.
Those
Here,
are all pre-built.
pre-built subframe pieces. If I looked closer, you'd see that they were all notched and ready to be welded. They are definitely in production. Okay, here's where we get to go behind the scenes and see the cool stuff. This is one of the R&D Tech Josh Petrie's cars. Beautiful first gen Camaro, 67. And this was the first car, right, Josh?
Actually, the one over here was, but this is
Okay, this is the second car to get the subframe. So I just kind of want to go in here and show you everything we're looking at here. Look at those gorgeous control arms. Beefy, beefy, beefy. There's your steering. And Josh looks like he's got long tube headers.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's clear by a lot too.
Yeah, look at,
His are also dented.
okay, folks. That's a lot of room to work with.
Yep. Both sides. Passenger side has
If
more.
you've ever worked on one of these cars, which I'm assuming if you're watching this you have, you'll know it's a crapshoot to make everything fit, even with all the right equipment. You're banging your oil pan, your steering is sloppy, everything. It's an effort to make everything fit and work well. And I got to tell you, I don't know that I've ever seen straight back to the frame rail like that with long tube headers.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty
He's
incredible.
got all kinds of room too.
Yeah.
We both had problems on the stock subframe getting boxes to clear, but we have no issues on this setup.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like you'll have any issues of anything clearing.
I don't think there will be. Guys have asked me on the forums and trying to figure out what clearance they're going to be like, and I just don't see how there's going to be problems.
So, tell me this, Josh, because one of the other comes up with the one of the other things that comes up is with the true turn, which obviously on a stock subframe, there are clearance. You have to be conscientious of your headers, and you have to be conscientious of your oil pan.
Right.
Are you seeing any of that? Not even oil pan?
No.
Wow.
No clearance on. Petrie's car is clear by a mile. This is, stock small block Chevy locations. My car's LS motor. It's within 1/8 of an inch of where it used to sit. But yeah, I'm running a 302-3 pan on my car. I could fit my whole hand between the crossmember and the.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're hearing this now. Oh, his whole hand between the cross member and the oil pan. That's significant.
I have good size hands.
Yeah, he's got good sized hands. Josh is not a small guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's clear by a lot. They just did really good on making clearances. I don't know if you saw on the other subframe, but there's a cutout in the crossmember.
Yes, I did before. I've seen it before. Oh, actually, I don't.
It's just.
Can I see that one? Are we okay? I have to be careful because we're back in the R&D area, so there's some secret sauce that we got to be careful.
Yeah, right there. You can see it's got a section cut out.
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay.
But even without that, it would have been clear. It's just that gives even more.
Right.
To
Right.
play with.
Okay, so wow, that's crazy. Look at this metal. I just want to show you this metal. This is like, it's no joke.
The transmission cross members there. That was one of our first designs. That's not what's going to be.
Oh, that's not the final?
No, we changed up some stuff. We did one cross member, and from everything we've checked on, turbo 350s, I think 700 R4. I've got a T56 in Josh's car. Mine's got a TKX. We've made it to where it's going to work with pretty well all these. With one cross member and just different shims, motor mounts and stuff.
That's
so,
amazing.
Yeah,
how nice is that?
Yeah, they did good. The guys did awesome trying to
Yeah.
figure it out. And then obviously you got front to back adjustment.
Right.
For, T56.
Right, yeah. It's fully, so hopefully you heard Josh explain that it'll come with multiple shims so that you can accommodate just about every Pro Touring at least transmission assembly.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to pause again. Well, that's a video.
I can sit
but
down if you want.
I do want to take a picture. Okay, so I was talking about those control arms and how for lack of a better word, how pretty they are. Would you look at these things? And I just want to note that, you know, I'm not the strongest 60-year-old lady, but look at, I mean, they don't weigh anything. They're just so gorgeous. Do you know the weight, Josh?
I don't. I can't imagine it's more than a couple few pounds tops.
Tops.
I bet it's not even 2 pounds.
I don't think so, because a bag of flour weighs more than that.
So we don't have a scale in here. I'd do it, but
Well, we're not putting it on a scale, but I'm telling you, it's way less than a bag of flour.
yeah,
So
the
there you go.
bushings, you know, it's all ready to go.
Yeah. Ooh, look at all that Delrun, people. Ooh. You know, people love the Delrun. All right.